For most people, music is super important and relevant in life. We all have our own unique tastes and interests, and most of us listen to it constantly throughout the day. Whether you work, relax, exercise, or do everything with your earphones in, music is more or less an essential part of everyday life for most cultures in the world. Like anyone else, music is a big thing for me too, so today I thought I'd show you what I listen to. Now, as far as the type of music I listen to, it really just depends on the type of mood that I'm in. Regardless if I'm working out, studying, or trying to get some creative inspiration, there are a variety of different albums and artists and genres that I like to listen to help me get a little bit more into that mindset and boost my productivity. However, for the sake of this video, to try to keep it pretty simple, I'm just going to break it up into the types of genres that I like to listen to, as well as a couple of my favorite artists within that genre. So for you guys out there who are looking for new music, hopefully you guys are going to be able to find a couple new artists that you're going to enjoy. Now, obviously we can't talk about what type of music I listen to without mentioning how I listen to the music. Whether I'm in my car, in my room, or by myself, how I listen to my music really helps shape that entire experience. Now, a really big factor of that and how I listen to my music the majority of the time is via wireless earbuds. Lately, anytime I've been on the go, I've been bringing along my Raycon wireless earbuds. And the reason being is that they actually have the smallest footprint of any wireless earbuds that I've used. They sound just as great as other top audio brands, but they start at about half the price of any premium wireless earbuds in the market. Another reason that I really like them is that they just sit very flush in your ear, meaning that they're not too much of a distraction if you're riding the subway or you're working out. They also have these clickable buttons so that you can play and pause your music as well as skip tracks. So if I just double tap on the right earbud, it will skip through a couple of tracks as shown right here. Now, how you listen to your music honestly plays a big factor in the entire experience. So if you're interested in checking out Raycon, make sure to go to buyraycon.com/Nicolas Chae to get 15% off your order. First off, I've divided my artists into a couple of different categories. Some of them definitely cross over into others, but for simplicity's sake, we have rap/hip-hop, we have alt/indie, we have jazz/classical, and then we have other honorable mentions. So let's just start off with rap/hip-hop because I think this is the genre that I listen to for the majority of the time. If I'm in the car by myself or hanging out with friends, then I'm definitely going to be putting on a song from one of these artists. Alright, to start off our list for rap and hip-hop, the man holding the crown is obviously going to be Drake, Champagne Papi, Six God. I don't even think I need to go on further about why this is my favorite artist. He just never misses with his tracks, and regardless if I'm looking to get creative inspiration or I'm in the gym trying to get a good workout in, I know that I can turn to any album by Drake and he's going to have a perfect song for that mood. Next up, someone who has definitely been on the come up lately and has just been someone I consistently listen to is going to be Roddy Ricch. And the reason that I love Roddy Ricch is that his music is just a straight vibe. Like, he has so many great bangers. Obviously you can't ignore The Box, but other songs like Ballin' and High Fashion or Down Below, if you haven't really been listening to him, then I definitely recommend checking out those songs as your first listen. But yeah, Roddy Ricch has definitely been up there on the top 5 list. Alongside that is going to be Travis Scott. I think Astroworld is probably one of my favorite albums that I can listen to all the way through without skips. Number 4 is going to be J. Cole. This man is definitely on par with any of my favorite rappers of all time. He just consistently does so well with all of his projects, and anytime he does a feature on someone's song, it immediately becomes a J. Cole song. In addition to that, his 2 latest tracks, The Climb Back and The Lion King on Ice, were honestly pretty fire. I haven't heard new J. Cole pop off like that in a minute. Middle Child is obviously a great song, you know, 2014 Forest Hills Drive, and even his older stuff too, like Born Sinner is a classic album. So yeah, J. Cole definitely has my top 5 spot. To kind of round out 5 and 6, these are definitely 2 rappers that I listen to pretty consistently, are going to be Chance the Rapper and A$AP Rocky. Chance the Rapper, first off, Acid Rap is honestly such a fire mixtape. I can listen to that whole thing through. A$AP Rocky is obviously a great rapper, but the reason I look to him for creative inspiration is that this man just transcends music. He just sets new trends for fashion and he's making his own wave. So A$AP Rocky and Chance the Rapper are definitely up there. Now, my next few picks aren't really rap focused, but more like hip hop centered, I guess, but they're going to be Mac Miller, Frank Ocean, Post Malone, and the Carter Suit. First off, Mac Miller, rest in peace, man. When he passed away, it was honestly devastating. Like, growing up listening to his music and knowing that he's gone at such a young age was honestly one of the hardest celebrity deaths that I've experienced personally. Just the fact that his music was able to inspire so many people was definitely a strong legacy to be left. Frank Ocean, you know, this man is just OG, even though he's kind of been off the charts lately. Channel Orange is a great album. I also think Blonde was a great overall project. Nights is probably my favorite song of all time, no cap. Just on Blonde itself, like Nike's, Ivy, Pink and White, Self Control, great tracks if you haven't listened to them. Channel Orange, he's got Thinking About You, a classic. Super Rich Kids, Pilot Jones, Crack Rock, Pyramids, Lost. You know, Frank Ocean really doesn't miss with his music either. He also has a mixtape, Nostalgia Ultra, so if you guys haven't heard that old Frank Ocean, definitely recommend listening to that as well. You know, Post Malone is honestly just one of the goats. His songs are always on the radio because they're just a good vibe to listen to and anyone can really appreciate. Plus the fact that he's also from my hometown of Dallas, Texas just makes me resonate with him a little bit more, so Post Malone is definitely up there as well. Now, the last rapper on this list is going to be the Carter Suit. If you guys haven't heard of him, he's definitely on the come up. I use his music a lot in my videos because number 1, he's actually my friend, so they don't get copyrighted, so shout out to you, the Carter Suit. Honestly, this man is so slept on. His production skills and his vocals are something that just set him on par with a lot of these rappers, and this kid's only like 21. So if you guys haven't listened to him yet, let's definitely run up those listens on Spotify and Apple Music. Now I've titled this next category like alt/indie. I don't think that's the most appropriate name because I hate when people say like, oh, I listen to indie music and shit like that, but it's just so I could categorize a different genre of music that I listen to. So first one's gonna be Daniel Caesar. I don't need to say much about him. He's just straight good vibes. Number 2 is gonna be Jhené Aiko. If you haven't listened to her music, I definitely recommend checking it out. She has songs like Bed Peace with Childish Gambino, which is honestly one of my favorite Jhené Aiko songs. She has a song called Sativa on her album Trip, and just good vibes in general. These next 2 artists are people I listen to pretty heavily, especially when I'm in the mood for just like chill vibes, don't really want to be listening to rap or hip hop, and they're going to be Han and Oh Wonder. I won't talk too much about them, but definitely go check out their music as well. And finally is going to be Imagine Dragons. This is a band I just grew up listening to. Night Visions is honestly one of my favorite albums, and anytime I listen to it, it just kind of brings me back to my younger days. So those are my picks for my kind of alt/indie. This is like when I'm trying to chill out, if I'm driving home late at night and the sun is setting, like this is the playlist that I'll put on, and it's just straight good vibes, you know? Now anytime I study, I try my best to not listen to music that has a lot of words, because that actually ends up distracting me from the content that I need to be studying. So for the majority of time, if I really need to focus, then I will put on some jazz or classical music, and I think that's the best way for me to just get in the zone, not really focus on what exactly the music is, but just kind of have it as a background. And if you guys didn't know, I am a musician. I've grown up playing, you know, piano, guitar, saxophone, clarinet, so there are a lot of artists that resonate with me personally because I have just enjoyed listening to them growing up and trying to perfect my craft by listening to their music, and that's going to be Benny Goodman, who's kind of the OG of jazz clarinet. You know, listening to his music really just inspires me to pick up my clarinet and try and become like him. Like, listen to his music and you'll know what I'm talking about. Number 2 is going to be Louis Armstrong. Like, this man is just the GOAT of jazz music. He's inspired so many musicians all across the world, and the great thing about jazz is that it's universal, man. It transcends all languages, because music and jazz in particular is just something you feel. It's just something deep inside you that you can connect with, and that's how jazz originated from. People in New Orleans didn't speak the same languages, and all they could do was play their instruments together. So enough about that spiel, but yeah, Frank Sinatra is also on this list. And finally is going to be Hans Zimmer, who composes really great soundtracks for a lot of the movies I'm sure you guys have seen. In particular, I listen to like the Interstellar soundtrack because I just think that helps me focus a little bit better. But if you guys haven't listened to any of these artists, then I definitely recommend checking them out. These are just what I'll put on in the background while I'm studying, or if I have a romantic date and you want to set the mood, definitely throw these on shuffle. Now to kind of wrap up this list, I have a few honorable mentions. First one is going to be Calvin Harris. I think his album Funk Wave Bounces is one of my favorite albums of all time. Number 2 is going to be Jaden Smith, Soho, PCH, Icon. Those are honestly just great songs in general. Lil Tecca, I've been really listening to Lil Tecca a lot lately. Kanye West is on here. Despite what he's kind of going through right now, I still enjoy his music. Now to kind of wrap up this video, I've compiled a list of some of my favorite albums that I can listen to from start to beginning without skipping any tracks. First one is going to be Pure Heroin by Lorde. She came out with this several years ago, probably when I was in middle school or high school, but all the way through I think it's a great project. A lot of the tracks really resonate with me, and it's just a chill vibe you can listen to all day. Number 2 is going to be, like I said, Funk Wave Balances Volume 1 by Calvin Harris. The reason I love this album so much is that it has features from so many different artists, and Calvin Harris beats will always just put you in a good mood. If you haven't listened to that album, honestly, after you watch this video, listen to that all the way through, and I promise you won't be disappointed. Number 3 is going to be Nothing Was the Same by Drake. And trust me guys, picking my favorite Drake album was not something I tread lightly about. I put in very specific thoughts about what is one album that I would listen to and just has hits all the way through, and that is going to be Nothing Was the Same. Number 4 is going to be Astroworld by Travis Scott. Like I said in the beginning, this is an album that I can listen to from start to finish without skipping any of the tracks because every single one is so fire. You know, just a couple of my favorite tracks off that album are going to be Stargazing, Carousel, No Bystanders, Yosemite, Butterfly Effect, Houston Fornication, Coffee Bean. So just off that short list alone, they are all bangers. If you're one of the few people who haven't listened to Astroworld, what are you doing? Go listen to it right away. And finally, to wrap it up, is going to be 2014 Forest Hills Drive by J. Cole. And the reason this has made the list is that literally every single song is kind of a classic off this album. January 28th, What Dreams, A Tale of Two Cities, No Role Models, Hello, Apparently, Love Yours. You know, there's so many great tracks on this album, like I could listen to this all the way through. Alright guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I know a lot of people have been asking what types of music I listen to, whether I'm studying or looking for creative inspiration, so I hope this acts as a guide if you're looking for new music. If you enjoyed this type of video, make sure to drop a like down below. Comment if you guys enjoy any of these artists, or if you guys have any other music recommendations that you think I would like. Subscribe for more videos, and as always, let's build.